The weight of betrayal. Alex and I had always dreamed of starting a family. When I found out I was pregnant at 34, it felt like our whole world was coming together. But little did I know, our joy would soon be shattered by a devastating betrayal. As my pregnancy progressed, Alex started coming home late, smelling of alcohol and acting distant. I tried to understand, knowing how overwhelmed he must have felt with the impending changes. But deep down, a nagging feeling of unease grew stronger each day. One evening, after a particularly emotional discussion about our future as parents, I sensed something was wrong. Alex seemed agitated, his phone constantly buzzing with calls and texts. I confronted him, tears streaming down my face, pleading for honesty. Alex couldn't meet my gaze. His voice trembled as he admitted to an affair, a coworker named Sarah, someone he had turned to for comfort during our arguments and my pregnancy. I felt like my world had crumbled. The man I loved, the father of our unborn child, had betrayed our trust in the most painful way. I couldn't bear to stay in our home. Packing a bag, I fled to my parents' house, seeking refuge from the heartbreak and humiliation. Alex was left alone, grappling with the consequences of his actions. His drinking worsened, and he spiraled into depression, realizing he had lost everything he held dear. Days turned into nights, and I lay awake in my childhood bedroom, haunted by images of Alex and Sarah together. The pain was unbearable, suffocating me with every breath. I struggled with the decision of whether to leave him for good or give him another chance for the sake of our child. In my darkest moments, I questioned whether I could trust him again. The thought of raising a child alone, without the father I had envisioned, weighed heavily on my heart. But then, a flicker of compassion for Alex, a man I once loved deeply, stirred within me. Alex's letters arrived, filled with apologies and promises to change. He sought therapy for his depression and alcoholism, confronting the deep-seated issues that led him astray. His words were filled with remorse and a desperate plea to rebuild our family. Slowly, cautiously, I began to consider his pleas. We met in neutral places, talking through tears and heartache. I saw the pain etched on Alex's face, his regret palpable. He wasn't just asking for forgiveness, he was begging for a chance to make things right. Despite Alex's efforts, I couldn't bring myself to forgive him completely. The betrayal had shattered my trust and fractured the foundation of our relationship. While I appreciated his attempts to change, I knew deep down that rebuilding our marriage would be a long and uncertain journey. I focused on preparing for motherhood, finding solace in the support of family and friends. Alex remained committed to his recovery, attending counseling and support groups. He continued to reach out, hoping for a reconciliation. But I needed time to heal and to reassess what was best for myself and our child. As my due date approached, I made the difficult choice to move forward with a divorce. I couldn't ignore the pain and uncertainty that lingered in my heart. Despite the love we once shared, I couldn't ignore the betrayal that had irreparably changed our relationship. Alex accepted my decision with a heavy heart, realizing the consequences of his actions. He vowed to remain a supportive father to our child, understanding that rebuilding trust would take time and effort. We parted ways amicably, both grieving the loss of our dreams together. Today, as I hold our newborn baby in my arms, I reflect on the journey we've traveled. Alex's betrayal was a painful chapter in our story, one that taught me about the strength of self-love and the importance of setting boundaries. While forgiveness may come in time, I prioritize creating a stable and loving environment for our child. Our paths diverged, but I carry with me the lessons learned about resilience and the courage to prioritize my own well-being. As I navigate single parenthood, I look toward the future with hope and determination, knowing that I made the right decision for myself and our child's future.